let's dive into the science of authenticity, shall we? Yes, these are symmetrical bruises on my face. What of it? And I say the science of authenticity, but what I really mean is the art of being yourself. And what a shitty piece of advice, right? Be yourself. Just be yourself. For most people, they say, well, who the fuck is that? First mistake, my friend, asking who. The big eternal life question, who am I? Who am I? See, the problem with who is it sort of leads you down this Alice in Wonderland style rabbit hole because you'll never really come to an answer because there is no, oh my God, I haven't deposited my self-help book. Self-help bookshelf. You'll never really come to an answer that satisfies you because there's this finality to it. I am this. So instead of asking who, I posit that you should instead ask how. How do I feel about X thing? How do I go about doing this thing? See, the difference between how and who is how is a verb, how is doing, who is this outside of you noun that you're supposed to conform to, and that authenticity looks like this certain kind of thing. Oftentimes when you think authenticity, you might think like tears or somebody really like cutting themselves wide open. But you know what? That's like a cinematic version of what authenticity is. That's the Hallmark Christmas movie version of authenticity. Authenticity really is instead the how, it's the doing, it's the way that you human. The authentic doing of self through your life propelled only by your values, by your blueprint for being. And that's all well and good, but how the fuck do you figure out the how? Well, like any other verb in your life, how did you figure out how to ride a bicycle or drive a car? You have to practice. Practice being myself, but where am I supposed to do that, Justin? I am just so glad that you asked. Storytelling, the active stepping into the being of you for the purpose of taking us through a narrative or achieving a goal, is one of the most beautiful and purposeful ways to practice being yourself. I don't just say this as a person who has been on Broadway, who has stepped into the being of people who are not myself, but I've learned that by playing characters on Broadway, by amplifying aspects of myself to tell those stories honestly, if you can take that same skill set and amplify aspects of yourself in these practiced storytelling moments and dial them up and figure out what parts of you enjoy amplifying most at any one moment, that's the authentic self that you should be being most of the time. The gag being that you've probably actually been people-pleasing for years and years and years, so you don't even really know which parts of yourself you enjoy amplifying. But I don't have an open mic night or a place to tell stories. But you are watching this on social media, which means you have the social media, which means that you also realize that content creation is actually this beautiful way to practice being yourself because it's essentially storytelling with training wheels. Tiny, structured, perfect little stories for you to package up your human goodness, dial up aspects of yourself, and fucking be.